glass-formed objects from much earlier than 2000 BC. It started in Phoenicia, basically, in that area of the world. And they started by wrapping glass around cores, and at some point that transitioned to actually blowing to shape those cores. My favorite thing to make is the jellyfish. They took the longest to kind of figure out, and I'm still working on them. I've been working on that design for about 11 years. And there are quite a few artists that do make jellyfish paperweights and a lot of the different things that I make, but I always try and do them a little bit differently so they stand out. A lot of people like glass blowing because it's a very quick process, and you can have an idea and make the object and it's done, within an hour, whereas a lot of art that, there's lots of process takes weeks. The furnace that we're using, like I said, is electric. It's very efficient. It does take 3 days to heat up, but it takes 3 days because it has a lot of mass. And that mass allows it to hold heat and stay at temperature very inexpensively. So once it's hot, it's actually doesn't use much power to keep it hot. It's the heating it up. So once it's on, we leave it on, and we're also using a lot lower temperature glass. Now, I know it sounds strange to buy glass from Sweden, it's such a long way away, but the reason for it is the glass melts at a lower temperature, so it takes less energy to heat it up. So a little shorter working time. Any of the scrap glass that I'm cutting off during the process, we can save it up and remelt it. And when you take all those scrap colors and blend them together and remelt them, it turns a really beautiful cobalt blue. The blue is more of a staining color. So when we get time, we'll throw some in the furnace and have a run of blue glass. So any of the little scraps you see me cutting and it seems kind of wasteful, it all gets reused. And we can also reuse that in jewelry and some other processes as well. My name is Michelle Weston, and I've been a glassblower here in Berea for about 17 years. I studied glassblowing in Bowling Green, Ohio, at graduate school there, and I've actually been blowing glass probably 27, 28 years total. And the business here is primarily a wholesale business, so what that means is I have a small product line of giftware that we make and resell to galleries around the country, mostly the starfish and the seahorses and that kind of work. And then here at the studio we also teach classes and have a little bit of retail, a little bit of everything.